Hi, my name is Brynn, and I was recently accepted into the Disney College program. I just wanted to make a video about what the application process is like and what I did to get accepted, so hopefully it can help someone out there that's applying, maybe like you, I don't know. So if you don't know, the Disney College program is basically like if you're a college student, you get to apply to be an intern for Disney, you get accepted, you move there, you live in Flamingo Crossings Village, which is just the college program residence area. And you just get to be a cast member for Disney in the parks, and that can be, you're working in attractions, quick service, children's activities. There's like 50 different roles you could do, and you just work there for a couple months, and that's it. It's a really cool experience, and it was my dream to work for Disney, and I cannot believe that I got accepted. So if anything, I just want to help someone out there achieve their dream as well. So anyways, yeah, let's get started. In my head, the application process can be like simplified to 3 steps, which is step 1, you apply, you send in your work experience, and you just wait for a response. Step 2, if you get accepted, they're gonna ask you to do a web-based interview, which is basically like a timed personality test. And step 3, you get accepted, but not officially. You still have to complete some steps, like giving them your background information and officially accepting the offer. And then after that, you're officially accepted into the program. Okay, so let's start talking about the application process. So step 1 is just submitting your application. So how do you apply in the first place? Well, what I did is I went to the Disney College program website and I signed up to receive emails of when they would start accepting offers and stuff, because they don't always accept applications throughout the year, but they'll let you know when they're accepting applications. So I signed up for the emails. I received an email that said that I could apply now, so I immediately went on and clicked the link it gave me and went to the website. And there's other ways that you can access it, but basically you're essentially gonna be brought to like this Disney dashboard. You're basically gonna make like your application account, and you can link this account with your LinkedIn, which I highly recommend. That's what I did. Because I already had everything on my LinkedIn. I had all my work experience, my skills, all the important stuff, honors, awards, all on my LinkedIn. And I figured if I'm linking my LinkedIn, someone's probably gonna look at this. So I would link your LinkedIn, zhuzh it up, make sure it looks good, and go from there. Okay, so now your account is set up. You're gonna look at your dashboard. You can finally submit your application. So really all this application is gonna ask for is your work experience. There's no personal essay, there's no like quiz or anything for this part. You're really just putting, okay, I worked here, here, and here, and this is exactly what I did in each job. So I don't know if this is true, but a lot of people have been saying there are specific keywords in your application that you need to put in it. And if you don't put these words in your application, Disney will not care about your application. Like they'll just scrap it. I don't know if that's true, but I wasn't gonna take that chance. Apparently, keywords that you should put in your application are guests, safety, show. There's like one more, I can't really think of it. You just put it in your application and it just makes your application that much more appealing to them. Disney does not call their customers, they call them their guests. They care a lot about safety. And Disney is about a show. That's why they're called cast members. They're putting on a show. So of course these words have high importance to Disney, so just put them in your application. And also just make sure your application sounds good. I was a waitress at a restaurant, and one thing I could have said was like, yeah, I swept the floors every night, No. You would put something like, I maintained a clean and safe environment for my guests. That sounds way better than like, I cleaned the floors and wiped the tables every day. Because basically, what you're putting in your application needs to be something that can be applied to your Disney job. As of 2022, when you apply for the Disney College program, they're gonna give you any role. You're gonna receive like one of 50 different roles, and you're not gonna know what it is. So you need to put stuff that can be applied to like the Disney cast members in general. If you know how to maintain a clean and safe environment, Disney knows they can already put you in like most of their roles because you know how to do that. Hopefully that makes sense, but basically, with this part, You want to be honest, you want to be quick to the point, you want to put stuff that can apply to your new Disney job. I don't think you can go wrong here as long as you're articulating your job in an effective manner. Don't beat around the bush. You know, I didn't personally add anything that was like, I love this job, blah, blah, blah. I just put what I did and I just said it in a very eloquent way. So just to recap your application, all you have to do is put your work experience, make sure you put like guests, show, safety, and you know, honestly, there's probably no right way to do this. Like, I don't work at Disney. You could probably put like a paragraph for each thing and be fine. Again, this is just what I did, but yeah. So let's move on. So step 2 is gonna be your web-based interview. So if Disney likes your application, you get to move on to the web-based interview. So around 11 hours after I submitted my application, I got the email telling me to take the web-based interview. So make sure you're ready for the web-based interview by the time you submit your application, because the turnover can be very fast. And I've heard that other people have submitted their application and like a week later they get the web-based interview, but you just gotta be ready for this because it could be like the next day. Once you get the email for the web-based interview, you need to take it within 3 days of that email being sent to you, or you will be dropped. So basically, when you get the email, you got 3 days to take it. So the web-based interview to me is really just like a timed personality test. This is just for Disney to see like what type of person you are, how you react in your work environment, how you react in stressful situations, and just to get to know you better. So the web-based interview is timed, and I don't mean that like when you start it, it'll give you 45 minutes to complete. Instead, every question will give you like 30 to 45 seconds to answer, and then you gotta move on. That's how it's timed, just so you know, because I did not know that. And in the web-based interview, you're gonna see like 2 main types of questions. The first type of question is gonna ask you about yourself and your personality and who you are as a person. So these questions might be like, I am outgoing, I like working with people, I'm on time. And if you've noticed, these aren't actually questions, they're really just more like statements. Because your responses can either be from strongly disagree to neutral to agree to strongly agree. So when you get these questions, like for me, I got, I am outgoing, and I said, you know what? I am outgoing, strongly agree, and that's all you're doing. That's as simple as it is. For these types of questions, you just gotta know yourself, and you gotta be honest with yourself too. You don't wanna answer in a way that you think Disney will want you to answer. If you get a statement that's like, I love working with people, and you think, oh shoot, Disney's gonna want me to work in a group of people, I have to put strongly agree. No, you don't have to do that. You want to respond truthfully, because Disney is also going to use this web-based interview to place you in your role. So if you hate working in groups of people, put strongly disagree. Like, that's okay, because they might put you in a job where you're more independent and by yourself. Don't do a disservice to yourself, like respond truthfully. And the most important thing that you can do with these questions is only respond with strongly disagree or strongly agree. This is very important, because if you're going to respond with agree, disagree, neutral, you're not really sure, Disney's gonna look at you and be like,
you know, you're not very sure of yourself. We don't like that.
They slap you. Who's to say? I don't know what their mindset is, but in all the research that I have done with the web-based interview, everyone is saying to only put strongly disagree and only put strongly agree. And I assume that's just because Disney will look at your application and be like, oh, you know what? They're very sure of themselves. I don't know, just do it. I looked at these like yes and no questions, even though they're like statements, you know what I mean? So for instance, one might say, I am always on time. And you might think, you know what? Like, I try to be, but like traffic could get in the way, so I'm gonna put agree. No, don't do that. Because then Disney's gonna be like, oh, they're not on time all the time? That sucks. Bye. So don't answer that, because if you are late to work and you have a genuine like reason why you're late because of traffic or your mom died or something, like Disney's gonna know, and it's gonna be okay. But you should answer strongly agree, because that just shows that like you are always on time when you can be, when other things don't get in the way. Basically, my point is just to put strongly agree and strongly disagree, because it shows that you're sure of yourself. And you know, it's okay to put like a neutral here and agree there. Like, you don't have to be a robot. If you really believe that you need to put neutral or disagree or agree on a question, on a statement, like, that's okay too. I put neutral like once and agree and disagree like once or twice, and I was fine. But I've also heard other people say like, use those as last resorts only. So yeah, that's all the advice I can give you for these types of questions. So the other types of questions that you're gonna see in the web-based interview are like scenario-based. And these are like multiple choice questions where it just gives you a prompt and you get 4 different responses to choose from. So for instance, let's say a kid hurt himself. What are you gonna do? And the 4 responses are gonna be like, laugh and point at him, comfort him, find the parents, or call for first aid. And you know, you might be the type of person that goes, oh, I would comfort him. I'm gonna go comfort the kid. No. So instead of thinking this question as like, in your everyday life, if a kid hurt himself, what would you do? You would comfort him. Yeah, that's probably what you would do. But if you are a cast member working for Disney in the parks and a guest hurt himself, you need to call for first aid or whoever, because you're an employee there. You're a cast member, you're working, you're supposed to make sure the guests are safe. So in these types of scenario questions, like, also think like a Disney cast member. Think, if a guest hurt themselves, what would a Disney cast member do? You would call for first aid, then you would comfort the child, then you would call the parents, and then you might point and laugh at him. I don't know. I hope I'm explaining these okay, but basically just in these types of questions, like, you know, stay true to yourself, but remember, if you work for Disney, you're gonna have to make safety a priority for your guests. So there's just one last piece of advice I could give you about the web-based interview, and that is just having a close friend or family member sit next to you and make sure you're answering these questions correctly. So basically what I mean by that is, you know, you're taking your web-based interview and you're reading your questions out loud, and you can look to the person next to you and they can give you a verbal cue, a hand gesture, and help you answer these questions. So for instance, like going back to the first set of questions, it'll say something like, I'm outgoing. And I would say, I'm outgoing, right? And your friend would go, yeah, or to make things simple and fast. And you go, okay, I am outgoing. Strongly agree. And that's really just to like give you that extra assurance that like you are doing okay and you do know yourself. Because as much as you think you know yourself, like the web-based interview is stressful, and it's very helpful to have someone sit next to you and like help you through this process, because it helped me a lot, and I've heard that a lot of people do this. So yeah, if you can have a friend sit next to you and just support you and be there for you if you have any questions, like that's very helpful. And I did lie, because the last thing I guess I could say about this is like, take a breath. Take a freaking breath, man. This is stressful. And because when I was taking it, my friend was like, you need to slow down, because I was like, boom, 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 strongly agree, strongly disagree, strongly agree. And she was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because there was a question where I was like, yeah. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, I would have answered that differently. Because yeah, you have like 30 to 45 seconds to answer. But if you sit here and you start counting 30 seconds, like that's a long time. To summarize the web-based interview and the advice that I can give you, if you come across a question that is strongly disagree to strongly agree, do your best to only answer strongly disagree or strongly agree. And if you have a scenario-based question that is asking you about safety, respond in a way that is going to prioritize safety first. Have a friend next to you, take a breath. This is going to be stressful, but you'll get through it. So yeah, that's really all I can say about the web-based interview. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. But after the web-based interview, after your last question, you will immediately get a response that says whether you passed or not. This is very scary. But you know, if you are denied, you have to wait 6 more months to apply again. But if you're accepted, there's a very, very, very good chance that you're going to receive your offer letter at some point. I think it's very rare for people to pass the web-based interview and then get rejected. But I'm sure that they use that time to go over your application again and go over your web-based interview and like just, you know, double check and make sure you're gonna be a good fit. But ultimately, if you do pass, congratulations, it's super exciting. Now you just gotta wait You gotta wait for that offer letter, or not. After I passed the web-based interview, I had to wait around a week and a half or 2 weeks to receive my offer letter. I knew when I got it because of my emails, and I also could check through my dashboard. This varies from person to person. You know, someone might wait a month, someone might wait a couple days. Again, for me, it was like a week and a half to 2 weeks. I feel like generally it is 2 weeks, but you know, I don't know. That's just what it was for me. When you do get the email saying that like you were accepted, that is not official yet. You still have to like complete some steps before you are officially accepted into the Disney College Program. If you do get accepted, you'll receive an email that says something like, congratulations, like you're part of the Disney program. But before like we make it official, you have to complete some things. And it's gonna give you 3 steps to do. Step 1 is you're gonna have to go to your dashboard where you submitted your application and find your offer letter and scroll to the bottom and say, yes, I accept the offer. Step 2, you have to go into dorms and select your arrival and departure dates. There's a ton of different arrival and departure dates to choose from. Some programs can be like 3 months, some can be 7 months. So you can basically choose how long you want your program to be. You pick your dates and you pay the program fee, which for me was around $425. Yeah, so you have to pay that. You have to pick your dates. That's step 2. Step 3 is you have to do a background check, if I recall correctly. I'm pretty sure this step is just to make sure you're not like a criminal or something. Just complete those 3 steps, and once you do, you will receive an email or a notification on your dashboard that says, welcome, you've been officially accepted into the Disney College Program, and you can cry and scream and do whatever. So yeah, once you like complete all those steps, you are officially in, and you'll get a notification that lets you know like you are officially in the program. But yeah, that's it. That's all you gotta do. If you need any clarification for anything that I said, please put it in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Of course, I am not the person on the other end receiving these applications. I don't know exactly what they're looking for. This is just my experience and what I did, and I really hope that I helped you out. So yeah, all I can really say is just do your research. I mean, the fact that you're watching this video is great. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be fine. So yeah, if you have any questions about this whole process or what I did or my experiences or anything like that, please put them in the comments. And if you haven't accepted already, please let me know. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to talk to you. I'm all for making friends through the Disney College Program. So anyways, I'm gonna do my best to film my entire Disney College Program experience on my YouTube channel. So feel free to subscribe. I'm gonna be making a ton of videos like this. So if you wanna come along for the ride, feel free to join. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, guess what?
What?
I made it through. I made it through.
Alright,
Why do you sound like a robot?
What?
What the heck?
I was just joking around. Alright.
Okay, I love you. Bye.